I began looking back at all his other posts more closely than ever this time, and realized that whoever this player was, they were there when Alvin was mining. They were there when Alvin was in his base. They were there when Alvin was exploring caves, adventuring, gathering food. They were there always.
So today, we're gonna check out 2 Minecraft ARG videos from a channel we have watched before named DryFruits. And the videos we're gonna check out, the mysterious last message before he vanished, and also the terrifying last video before he vanished. This one here has a lot of dark topics in it, so I'm actually really interested in checking it out. But we're gonna take it from the first one, the mysterious last message before he vanished by DryFruits.
I didn't mean to find this. One night, while scrolling through some old Minecraft forums, I stumbled onto something strange. A series of screenshots posted by a long-abandoned Reddit account. 20 screenshots total, all from one player's world. Their survival world seemed pretty normal, but the
This
chat
feels
messages
like
were what really caught my attention.
I feel like I've seen this
At
before.
first, they seemed normal, just the players sharing their progress. But the more I looked, the more it felt like I was watching someone slowly unravel. The final message they left behind
think it
wasn't
found me
just
IRL.
odd, it was terrifying. And they disappeared right after. What happened to this player? Why did they vanish without a trace? I had to find out. The first screenshot appeared fairly normal, just a player named Alvin13 showing off a new Minecraft.
I'm gonna say one thing real quick. We did check a video from DryFruits like a couple of months ago, I believe. And if this is like the same sort of story, if it's like a Reddit thread with someone hiding in their room and it's just like the same shit over and over again, I'm gonna be a little bit disappointed. But you know what? I'm gonna keep an open mind. And see what this is about.
World he created. Just spawned in, looked like a cool seed. Gonna gather some wood and
We
build
have
a small
actual
base near the
voiceover.
water.
I like that.
Honestly, screenshot number 1 was fairly normal, nothing too out of the ordinary, so I moved right on to screenshot 2. Day 1 hut, lol, just need something to survive the night. And much like screenshot 1, this second one was really just basic as well. The player Alvin made a few
They
wooden
don't even have a
tools,
level
dug
yet.
some dirt, and made a small starter base near the water. A similar experience to any other player who have just started a new world. Nothing seemed out of the norm yet. And this pattern would continue up to screenshot 5, starting a mine, collecting some more materials, cave exploring. But that was until I clicked onto screenshot 6. You see, in the previous screenshot, number 5, Alvin is seen crafting a bed to get through the night. So in screenshot 6, he heads back up to his base, but
Wait a second, there's something wrong. Isn't that a spider eye? Don't you get that in the nether, or am I mistaken? Or do you just get spider eyes from like regular spiders?
in screenshot 6, he heads back up to his base, but this is when something pretty weird happens. Can't sleep, mobs everywhere. Weirdly, a lot more than usual, or maybe I'm just rusty.
I mean, you
In
have
this
like a
screenshot,
small dirt
Alvin is
house.
saying that
That's
there are
probably
too many
why.
hostile mobs near him to sleep. And if we look at the bottom of the screen, we can
There's a
actually
cursed
see
traitor.
the too many monsters nearby message very faintly, proving that what he's saying is correct.
There's a trader outside,
But
isn't it?
although Alvin is saying it seems like there's a lot more than usual, I actually disagree. Just by looking outside the door, we are able to
cursed
see
villager.
that there are only 4 mobs, which, when taken in consideration, really isn't that many. And since we don't know what difficulty mode he's playing on, we can't really come to a solid conclusion yet to prove if something actually unnatural is going on, or if it's just an ordinary occurrence in the game. So to gather more evidence, I moved right onto screenshot 7, and surprisingly, things only got weirder. Screenshot 7 starts like any other. It's now morning, and Alvin is currently right outside the entrance of his mine. However, it wasn't until I read the message when things got strange. I thought I heard something down there, not even joking, like footsteps but echoey. Alvin is claiming that he hears footsteps coming out of his mine.
Couldn't it just be
And
a
at
mob?
first, this seems pretty odd. What could
But that's
possibly
just
be making those sounds
It could
he
just be
hears?
a mob, like a normal
But
mob
then I
down there.
realized that the footsteps are most likely just coming from some hostile mob
Yeah.
that spawned down there, like a zombie or skeleton. And after taking a closer look, we can actually see that there's no torches lighting up the bottom of it, which almost confirms this theory to be
Exactly.
true, due to monsters needing complete darkness in order to spawn in. And after solving that mystery, I moved right on to the 8th screenshot. At first, screenshot 8 looks like nothing too extraordinary is going on. Just a picture of the scenic view of the forest
But there's
outside
gotta
of
be
his
someone
base.
hiding in here.
However, then I read his message. Might just be in my head, but I feel like I keep seeing stuff like quickly moving every time I turn the camera. I'm probably just tired, lol, I don't know though. Now,
there is something
unlike all
hiding
the
in
previous
here.
screenshots before this, I really didn't have an immediate explanation for this one. I did want to try pointing out that it could just be some mob he sees wandering around like a sheep or pig. However, the way he is phrasing it makes it seem like this can't be the answer. He says that he keeps seeing stuff quickly move out of frame every time he turns around, which doesn't really fit the description of any normal mob. All of them move relatively slowly. The only solution I can come to is that it's all just in his head and he's probably just paranoid, partially due to the other experiences before this. So looking for more answers, I continued on to screenshot 9, and this is where things got scary. Did I break this bed and forget? I swear it was right here. I slept last night. Now things are getting really
If you're on
strange.
hard mode, can't the
Alvin,
mobs
now
just
back
like
at his
break
base,
it?
has found that his bed has somehow vanished. I began looking back at all his other posts and realized something just as equally bizarre. We never actually see Alvin's bed in any of his screenshots. Could it be
you're
that
right.
he never actually had one? This would explain a lot. Maybe he truly is just tired and is forgetting that he never placed a bed in his base. The closest thing we have to it is seeing him in the process of making one, but we never actually see him craft it,
Yeah, you're
let
right.
alone bring it up to his base. So, mystery solved. He never actually had one. He's just misremembering, right?
Or is he?
Well, that's when I took a closer look and realized something terrifying. In screenshot 6, when all the mobs are outside of his base, I remember when he said he couldn't sleep.
Yeah, but you
and by
can't
looking
get
just
that
above his hotbar,
text.
we see the message,
You can't
"You
get
may
that
not
message
rest now.
without
there
the
are
bed."
monsters nearby." If you didn't know, the only way that this message appears is to try sleeping while there are too many mobs nearby.
Exactly.
Meaning that he must have had a bed. After realizing this, I literally got chills.
So he must have
And
clicked
things
it and
only
then
get
turned
even
around.
scarier in the next post, screenshot 10, when he says that he even asked his little brother if he went on his computer and messes his world, and his brother said that it wasn't him. But who knows, maybe Alvin could have broken it off camera, and just doesn't remember. I mean, that's really the only explanation I can think of. So not knowing where else to go from here, I clicked onto the following post, screenshot 11, and this was just odd. After the whole broken bed situation, Alvin decided to go mining to clear his mind. But while exploring in a cave, he noticed something peculiar. Found this while strip mining. It's not a cave. Looks like someone tunneled here.
Yeah, that's
Maybe
not
it's
random
Herobrine,
generation.
JK LOL. I think it's probably just world corruption or something.
That's not random
There
generation.
appears to be
Someone
weird
has
tunnels,
genuinely
which
been
look
here.
like long, narrow hallways. Alvin jokes around saying it could be Herobrine, a Minecraft myth which is known to leave weird
yeah,
anomalies in
nah,
the world similar to
nah.
this. But then he follows it up by saying it's most likely just world corruption. However, to put it plainly, world corruption just doesn't do this. Now, although world corruption can destroy massive chunks
more
out
like
of your
chunks.
world, it never leaves weird long tunnels as seen in the picture.
If you do
These
get a
tunnels,
corruption, it's like
oddly
a
enough,
chunk. It's not
look
like this.
Man-made. And despite spending hours trying to think of a possible reason for this, I just couldn't. I honestly even began thinking maybe it actually was his little brother just playing a lighthearted prank on him. And after looking at the next screenshot in the series, this theory does have some possible validity to it. In screenshot 12, Alvin is now out of the cave and was exploring his world when he came across a long trail of torches.
Huh.
Don't remember placing these torches. They go on for like 200 blocks. I followed them and they just stop.
So there must be a player
Maybe
in
all
their
of this
room,
truly
in
was
their
just
world.
Alvin's little brother. I mean, that really seems like the only plausible reason for all of this.
And they're just
The
lying
bed
about it?
disappearing, the weird tunnels, and now these torches. I mean, it's the only thing that makes sense. So thinking that we finally put an end to this mystery, I continued to the next post just to make sure. And I had a name tag here. Definitely didn't use it. I swear I remember it was right there. Unless I'm going crazy. If this all just is his little brother, everything honestly does check out. His brother probably went onto his computer and messed with a bunch of things in his world.
Broke the
either to
bed
just
and put
troll
down the
him or trying
torches
to
and
freak
stole
his
the name
brother out.
tag, yeah.
And if it's the latter, then his little brother is obviously succeeding at this point. Alvin has become increasingly more worried and paranoid with every so-called oddity that he experiences. So for further verification, I went on to the next screenshot, number 14. And it's just Alvin outside staring at the moon, saying he's going to wait until morning to start making some more progress, jokingly saying it would be easier with a bed. And to put it
Can you just
frankly,
find a sheep?
this was the last screenshot before things quickly became straight up terrifying.
But he should be able to find a sheep and just like make a bed again.
Something really weird happened last night. This morning I woke up to the sound of my mom screaming and yelling in the kitchen. I immediately jumped out of bed and ran downstairs to see what was wrong. I asked her what happened, and she said that while she was getting something from the garage, she found her car all scratched up on the sides. She then noticed that the side door, which was normally always locked, was left wide open. She said that someone must have broken in, but what's weird is that it looks like nothing from her car or garage was actually stolen. Very strange. And what makes it scarier is the fact that we were upstairs all asleep when they would have broken in.
ridiculous.
I really have no clue who would do this. We live in a pretty safe neighborhood and stuff like this never happens. She tried checking the front doorbell camera and it said there was movement in front of the door at 2 in the morning, but the camera didn't catch anything besides a raccoon, so who knows? I honestly didn't know what to think when I first read this. While Alvin and his family were asleep, somebody broke in. But the strangest part about this is that they apparently didn't steal anything. Why would someone break into a house just to not take a thing?
Crackheads.
Now, his mom did
Definitely
say
a
she found
crackhead.
her car all scratched up. But why would someone do
But
this?
how is this
What
related
could
to
have
the
been their
Minecraft
motive?
world?
Alvin did mention he lived in a relatively safe neighborhood, so break-ins like this didn't really happen often, if ever. He also mentioned the fact that their camera actually detected movement in front of their garage door at around 2 in the morning. However, they couldn't see anything besides a raccoon scurrying around, which was probably what set off the camera in the first place. But this now leads us into a bigger mystery.
I like this very
Who was
dramatic
this that broke
music.
into the house? What would cause someone to do this? And is all this somehow connected to what's going on in Alvin's Minecraft world? Left with more questions than I had answers for, I continued on with Alvin's next post, screenshot 16, and this was bone-chilling.
Been chilling.
Alvin was still inside his base, just like the last post, but it was a message that caught my attention. Okay, now I'm freaked out. Remember how I said someone broke into our house? Well, it's been a few days, and now we just found something really weird. It was like 1 in the morning. I had just logged off my Minecraft world when I heard a huge crashing coming from what sounded like outside my house. The rest of my family was asleep, and I was debating going downstairs to check. After building up the courage, I quietly went downstairs and looked out the window, but I found nothing. I didn't see a thing. I made sure all the doors were locked before going back upstairs. I tried going back to sleep, but just couldn't. I was just too nervous, especially considering what had just happened a few days ago. When the rest of my family woke up in the morning, I asked them if anyone else heard the sound, but they said they were all asleep. I told them what happened, and they all agreed that it was probably just some animal. I really don't think so though. I'm still pretty spooked from this, so I'm gonna just take it easy for the rest of the day. Probably won't post again until tomorrow.
But what
In the
does this
middle
have
of the
to do
night,
with
while the rest
Minecraft?
of Alvin's family was asleep, he heard the sound of a huge crash come from outside his house, which in retrospect could have just been a neighbor making some noise, but the fact that it was this early in the morning, paired with the previous event a few nights before, really makes me think otherwise. After building the courage to check out what the sound was, he didn't find anything. And after locking up all the doors, he went back upstairs to bed, but couldn't shake his nerves enough to fall asleep. After sitting up all night with nothing but his thoughts, he asked his family if they heard anything last night, but they unanimously all said no. He ended off his message by saying he probably wouldn't post again until tomorrow. It's clear that Alvin was now terrified, and for good reason. All the strange things going on in his Minecraft world, coupled with what's now going on in real life, at first I suspected it was just his little brother messing with him. But now? Could any of this all be connected in some way? I really have no clue what to think.
It's definitely not
I
connected.
felt like I had to find out more. So hesitantly, I continued on to his next post, screenshot number 17.
I feel like this isn't really Minecraft related. This is like a real life story, but it's being told through Minecraft screenshots. Because yeah, the world is weird, but what we can basically chuck it up to is that the brother is playing on this world here, because so far we haven't seen any entities in the world. We haven't seen anything wrong about the world. In order to connect the real life events with the Minecraft events, we would have to see something more in the Minecraft world, apart from the broken bed, the weird chunks, and the weird lanterns. We would have to see some sort of like entity, someone in the background, someone inside of our single player world in order to put those two connections together. Because right now, it just sounds like that they're playing a Minecraft world where their brother is playing on the side, and then some crackhead broke into their car and basically just decided to like, scratch it up entirely.
I was just playing in the world, organizing the loot from my chest, when I went out to get some more food and swear I saw something out of the corner of my eye, like a very dark, almost blacked out figure. It looked like a player. I really don't know what it could have been. Maybe I'm just still paranoid from all the weird events going on in real life, the break-ins and the loud sound, but I can swear I actually saw this. Who knows, maybe it was just a glitch though, I don't know. I will update if anything else strange happens. Alvin was just playing in his world, doing some regular old housekeeping when he went out to get some more food and saw a very dark, almost pitch black figure
Why
out of
can't
the
you
corner
like
of his
screen
eye.
record?
At first, I was going
Like,
to
why
say
is it
this
only
could have just been
screenshots?
an
Why is it
Enderman
not
that he
screen
saw outside
recordings?
his house or another mob, especially since we can see the sun is just now starting to rise. But then I remembered something. This isn't the first time Alvin has claimed to see a dark figure following him around in his world. Back in screenshot 8, he described seeing something that kept moving away every time he tried looking at it. I don't think this is just some paranoia anymore. There's just way too many things going on, both in the game and real life, that add up. Maybe it's true. Maybe somehow the oddities in the game he keeps experiencing does, in one way or another, correlate with what's going on in real life. With no way to prove whether or not my theory was true, I went on to the next post, screenshot 18. I really don't think I can handle the stress anymore. This will probably be my last post I make playing this world. I'm gonna go for a walk and go get some lunch. Chances are this is my final post. It's just all these weird things in my world, and then now in real life, I really can't take it anymore. Sorry to everyone who I may have disappointed with ending the series. I'm still not sure. Maybe I'll force myself to keep on playing, but probably not. Sorry guys. Alvin is desperate now for a break from all this weird stuff going on in both Minecraft and his real life. It's sad to see how much stress and anguish this has caused him. He even is considering quitting the game altogether at this point, saying he doesn't know if he can handle the stress.
But it's this world. What about a new world?
We can see just how paranoid he has become, even going as far as barricading the door to his base. He says he will decide if he will continue on playing this world or not after he goes out for some lunch. And for a while, I really thought this would be the last post we'd be seeing from Alvin. After quitting, he'd at least be getting a little peace and quiet from the virtual problems. But to my surprise, he actually managed to somehow continue posting after all of this. Somehow Alvin pulled through, but maybe this wasn't a good thing after all. It's been like 40 minutes since my last post, but while I was heading back to my base, I promise you I heard footsteps in the game that sounded like they were following me. They weren't mine, obviously. I could tell they were what seemed like another player's. I paused the game immediately. I'm just freaked out right now. I don't know if I can continue to play this world anymore. I don't know if I'm just being paranoid or if it's just in my head or what's happening anymore. I really think there's something else in my world, and I just cannot prove it. It's terrifying me every day. This combined with the weird things going on in my life, I need to take a break from this really. I don't know if I'll build up the courage to continue playing. I will try, but I can't make a promise. We'll keep you guys posted.
How can he pause the game immediately but still send a chat message? Because if the game is paused, you can't type inside of the chat box. So this makes no sense.
After thinking about it, he decided he would continue on playing. But just as he came back to his world, Alvin immediately began hearing footsteps again. And this time, they sounded like they were following him. After pausing his game immediately, he sat back to think about how he would move on from this. He knew he could quit the world for good at any moment for better mental clarity, but knew that he would be leaving behind many disappointed fans who had been following his post and journey in the game.
But we have no comments, we don't know how popular this subreddit is.
In the game would be gone within an instant. But putting
it's not like there was a whole lot of progress, to be honest.
He would, in fact, continue on playing. And he didn't realize it yet, but this would become his worst mistake ever. The 20th screenshot was the last post he ever made to his account, and as I began to read it, I realized just how terrifying Alvin's story truly was. I think it found me in real life.
Hold on, if there's gonna be like some grand reveal where like in all the screenshots there's been a hidden player but we're only gonna see it now because DryFruits basically increases the quality or increases the brightness, because I remember when I watched the last video, there was like, it was a player hidden in their world, and when you watched him go through the Reddit posts, the image or the character was not there, and then at the end he like did the final reveal, then you saw the characters. If this is the same shit, it's gonna be a little bit disappointing.
This was Alvin's final message before abandoning the Reddit account he was making all these posts on. Just 6 haunting words. I think it found me IRL. What could this mean? Why was this his last message before seemingly vanishing off the internet,
like all of the
never to
things
be
he
heard
has seen
from
in
again?
game.
I had to find out. And prepare yourself, because this rabbit hole is only just beginning. After reading the final message, I didn't know what to do. For a week straight, I didn't make any progress towards solving this mystery. I just sat there, thinking about the gravity of the situation. Eventually, I decided that it was finally time to start working towards solving this mystery.
Check the file names, check the file names of the posts.
I began by first looking at Alvin's Reddit account, where he posted all of these screenshots in hopes of finding maybe a little more information about him. However, after looking, I came to the realization that these 20 screenshots were the only thing he put on Reddit. No other posts, no bio, nothing.
What about
so that didn't help.
the
But then I
XP
thought
bar.
of
There's
something.
numbers on the
Maybe
XP
we
bar.
could try searching his username, Alvin13, on other platforms. To see if
YouTube?
he has any other
YouTube?
profiles. But after looking up his username on all different social media such as YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, there were no results. I still found nothing. Obviously,
their
if we wanted
username?
to actually make progress in finding Alvin, we would have to dig a little deeper than this.
Their username
So I
is also
began thinking of
Alvin13.
all the things I could possibly do, and that's when it hit me.
Isn't there like a lookup for
We
Minecraft
could try
accounts?
looking back at all of his Reddit posts with all the screenshots to see if we possibly missed something. And to put it frankly, I don't know if this will work, but it's really our last resort. Every little detail matters at this point. Maybe we'll find a clue, who knows. So starting back from square one, I began looking back and investigating all the screenshots. And initially I really didn't find anything too important. And it would all the screenshots. And initially I really
There's something behind him, isn't there? Like, right here. Am I geeky if I say like right here? There's something, right?
really didn't find anything too important. And it would remain that way for a majority of the screenshots. I would click on them, try finding some hidden clue, and after discovering nothing, would move on.
What if it's a
But
hot
then,
bar?
against all odds, I actually found something huge. It was on the 19th screenshot, a detail so small that I didn't even notice it until my third time around. A detail hidden in plain sight, in front of our eyes, this whole entire time.
Player
Here,
reporting.
this is what the Minecraft pause screen
Player
normally
reporting.
looks like. Looks
You
pretty
saw that
ordinary,
right?
right?
Open
And
LAN
this is what
options
Alvin's
player
pause screen looks like.
player reporting.
You
So
probably
he's
haven't
online.
even noticed it yet. Do you see how Alvin's screen says player reporting? Well, the only way to get that option to
Is
show up
if
is
you're
by
playing
opening
online.
your world to LAN. And if you didn't know, when you open your world to LAN, it means that other players who are on the same network as you are able to join your world.
So someone
Basically
is in
making your
this world.
single player world act as a server. And at first, this didn't seem like that big of a deal. But after thinking about it, I came to a horrifying realization. And please, just hear me out on this. What if all those weird things that were going on in his world was actually another player secretly logged into his world this whole entire time? And when you start adding up all the facts, it makes sense.
I mean, it could
Throughout
be.
this entire journey, one thing had remained persistent. Alvin would be playing in his world like normal, but then something just plain out strange would happen to him. Be it the broken bed, missing items, or the mysterious tunnels. Something weird was always happening. And
So his
sure,
game-
I'll admit it, at first I did think it was just Alvin's little brother messing with him. But then I realized that he also heard footsteps following him. And most importantly, kept seeing a strange,
but that
dark
means that his
figure out of the
game
corner of his eye.
Needs to be open
We
to
can pretty
LAN
much
all
rule
the
out that
time.
This was all his little brother at this point, especially considering that these things continued happening even when the rest of his family was asleep. Someone must have been secretly playing in Alvin's world alongside him, quietly following his every step, watching his every move. But why? And an even bigger question, who? So with more determination than ever to finally put this mystery to rest, I continued on investigating, carefully inspecting every minuscule detail, every pixel. And that's when I came to another horrifying discovery, one that literally gave me chills. You see, it was when I was looking at his 8th screenshot when I noticed something kind of odd. While zoomed into the image, scanning around for anything I could use as a clue, something stood out. In the bottom right corner of the image was what seemed like a zombie, but after zooming in a little further, I came to the shocking realization that this was no mob. This was someone. Someone was watching him.
Now, wouldn't it be funny? We're like 20 minutes and 29 seconds in. Wouldn't it be funny if we go over and find this image here? This is the image at 4 minutes in. And I'm pretty sure that they're not there. Wait, hold on. They are actually there, I believe. I do actually see someone down there. I'm actually give them credits for that. That's actually really good.
I sat there in shock for what felt like hours. Every fiber within my body was telling me not to go on. But after a while, I finally mustered up the courage to continue on investigating. And that's when I came to an equally frightening revelation. I began looking back at all his other posts, more closely than ever this time, and realized that whoever this player was, they were secretly watching Alvin in the back of almost every single screenshot. They were there when Alvin was mining. They were there when Alvin was in his base. They were there when Alvin was exploring caves, adventuring, gathering food. They were there always.
Now,
It
this
was
is
never
where it
clear
kind
to
of
say
turns into
all of those
BS.
disturbing things going on in his world, the broken bed, the missing items, the tunnels, footsteps, the mysterious figure he kept seeing. It was all this player. But now that we finally have confirmation that there actually was a player following Alvin this whole time, that still leaves us with two huge questions. One, why were they doing this? And most importantly, two, who is this player? I decided that I would try finding out the second question first. Who was this player secretly watching Alvin this whole time?
But we don't really know that. We need some video evidence.
Back at all the screenshots. Just try seeing if it was possible to make out a name tag above the player, to maybe find a username. But after zooming in on every single image, I realized that it just wasn't possible.
I feel like this is Photoshop. Like, this has to be Photoshop, because if you look at it right, how this room basically appears, it kind of looks like it's a photo that is added on top of it, like it's Photoshop. Like, it's blended together. Like, this hallway here doesn't exist, but it's added on top of this image.
It just wasn't possible. The player would always be just far enough away from Alvin to the point where the name tag wasn't visible anymore. So that plan failed. And I realized that there wasn't really much else I could do. Without the player's name, it would be pretty much impossible to find out any more information about this player. So I began to think of what else I could possibly do to try to find out this player's true identity. And after thinking about it for a while, I realized something terrifying. Remember before when I said that opening a world to LAN allows players on the same network as you to join your world?
So it's the...
Well,
it's the whole... It's the
guy
guy in their walls!
Must have been using the same internet connection. Meaning using the same Wi-Fi. Meaning that they must have been in the same house. Yeah. Remember back in screenshot 15 when Alvin was telling the story about someone breaking into their house in the middle of the night, but never actually stole anything? It all makes sense now. Whoever this player was the same person who broke into their house all those nights ago. And that's why they never stole anything. This whole time this person only ever broke in just to use the internet connection to join Alvin's world. But why?
But why?
And terrifyingly, this also means that this wasn't the only time this person has broken in. Remember when Alvin mentioned hearing a huge crashing sound from outside his house in the middle of the night? This must have also been the same person attempting to break in. This must mean that every time Alvin was playing in the world and experienced something weird happening, this person must have been simultaneously hiding away in his house, using it as a pathway to secretly connect to his world. And what makes this even scarier is the fact that Alvin only caught this person a couple of times, but who knows how long this person has actually been doing this, secretly breaking in order to spy on Alvin. But that now leads us into the next part of the mystery. We now know who this player is, but just why exactly are they going this far in order to spy on Alvin? And this is where the story gets darker. And once again, just hear me out on this, it will all make sense in the end. What if this whole entire time, this person has been breaking into Alvin's house, joining his world, following his every step in an attempt to stalk him? And I mean, it's not crazy. Why else would someone go through all this trouble and effort just to join someone else's game? Unless, of course, they were stalking them. Think about it. This person has been secretly following Alvin's every movement in the game, which means they would have also seen all of his messages, including the ones where Alvin becomes increasingly more paranoid and even goes as far as talking about the break-ins. Whoever this is, they know that Alvin is becoming suspicious, and they also know that their time's almost up. And this is where my dark theory begins.
But what's the purpose of this then?
What if, this whole time, Alvin's stalker was waiting for the perfect time to strike? He's tracked him down in-game, broke into his house, read every message he typed. What if, knowing Alvin had become increasingly skeptical over time, they decided to silence him before he could get another word out about it to anyone else? And just what if this was his plan from the very start, to kidnap Alvin? I mean, why else would he be spying on Alvin, following his every move? And after seeing Alvin become more and more paranoid, he knew that his time was almost up. He was on the verge of being caught, so he decided it was either now or never. And this is all just a horrifying theory. We may never know the truth as to why Alvin actually disappeared. But, pairing all of this with Alvin's last message, I think it found me IRL, I think it's now obvious. This message was Alvin's last-ditch effort, a final cry for help. He knew he had been found. He knew he had little time left before whoever this was would be taking him. Throughout this entire journey, Alvin had been leaving clues for the stalker to use. What time his family would be asleep, what time he left his house, his every thought. This entire time, Alvin had unknowingly been helping the stalker with his ultimate goal. And it gets even creepier when you consider the fact that Alvin's final post was made right around 3 in the morning, when the stalker knew that Alvin's whole family would be asleep besides him. And truthfully, although this is just a theory, I personally feel like there are just way too many things adding up for this to just be a coincidence. We may never get the full truth of what happened to Alvin that fateful night, but maybe that's for the best.
if I can be completely honest, I feel like this is a little bit weak. So if the stalker wanted to kidnap Alvin, why didn't he just do that instead of joining a Minecraft world? Because in order for the stalker to, depending on like if it's a 2-story house or like a 1-story house, the stalker would need to know that Alvin plays on Minecraft and that this world is open to Lane. But otherwise the stalker would have opened the world to Lane. And why don't we actually talk about that? Because why is the world actually open? Alvin has a brother. And we know now for a fact that the brother isn't the one basically manipulating the world, that is the other player. It doesn't sound like that he's like a squatter. It sounds like he's maybe someone who lives in the neighborhood, someone who lives nearby. But like they said, he has to be connected to the same Wi-Fi in order to do that. So he must be close enough to the house in order to connect to the Wi-Fi and then stalk Alvin. That means that he must hide somewhere inside the house or outside the house. But I feel like inside the house, maybe in the garage somewhere, maybe there's like a, what is it called, like a space between the walls, maybe like a little closet underneath like the stairs or anything. There must be some way inside of the house where the stalker is hiding and basically watching Alvin. So if we go through all of those scenarios, but it has to be like a very specific scenario. Stalker sees Alvin, stalker breaks into the house, stalker sits somewhere with laptop locked into the world, stalker waits for the right time, basically surveillancing Alvin inside of the game, and then stalker kidnaps Alvin at the end. But I still feel like the setup and the payoff is a little bit weak. And I'm pretty sure, like, even though when you see the screenshot on Reddit, it's like pretty low quality, but when DryFruits zooms in on it, that's when we get the high quality screenshot. And just like we saw in a previous video, I am pretty sure that even in the high quality screenshots, we are not gonna see the player hidden in the world. Even, let's try it real quick actually, just for shits and giggles. He's supposed to be like right here, but because the quality of the screenshot is so low, we actually can't see it. Whereas in other ARG videos, the evidence is there for everyone to discover. If it's a soundbite inside of the video, if it's a hidden screenshot, if it's some code or something, the evidence is there for us to crack as well, but the storyteller will crack it for us, if that makes sense. I feel like it's a little bit deceptive when we're supposed to see an entity or a guy in the middle of this screen here, but we're actually not gonna see them because DryFruit doesn't allow us to see them. Even if I take my hand, he's supposed to be like right here, but for some reason, we can't see them right here. Go back to the video. There he is. That's my comments. That's my feedback for this video. Otherwise, I feel like the storytelling in it is good, but I don't really feel like the connection between Minecraft and real life is very well integrated inside the video, if that makes any sense. We do have another one. This does go over some very heavy topics, so we might actually have to censor them. But now let's check out the terrifying last video before he vanished.
I shouldn't have found this. It was 3 in the morning, and I was mindlessly scrolling through YouTube in my bed. But then a strange video popped up in my feed.
Oh, it's actually a video.
Was pretty vague, and the thumbnail
this might be
unedited,
interesting. This
but
might be so interesting.
That caught my attention. I clicked on it, and I really wish I hadn't, because this one decision would eventually lead us down a deep, dark rabbit hole. One ending with a player going insane and eventually disappearing from the internet. What happened to this player? Why did he seemingly vanish without a trace? We must find out. But before that, we must start where this all began. It all started with the first episode of 9, simply titled A Fresh Start. The player, Malum6x3, had just began a new survival world and wanted to record his gameplay to post online. I'm gonna be starting a new Let's Play series. It will be fun, I think. Malum introduces us to his new world before saying that he'll be going off to get some materials. He chops down a tree and crafts some wooden tools before mentioning that he asked his friend to play with him, but he said he was too busy. Malum then proceeds to kill some animals, craft stone tools, and mine some coal ore, before ending the first episode by collecting flowers. And honestly, episode 1 was fairly normal, nothing too out of the ordinary, so I clicked right on to the next one, episode 2, Exploring the New World. The second video began just like the first. Malum now had a few more resources and states that he's going to be trying to make some more progress this episode. He mines more wood, kills more pigs, before crafting a boat and sailing through the river in hopes of finding something cool. After rowing for a bit, he finally comes to land, and after searching for a bit, finds a cherry grove biome, which excites him as he's never actually seen one before. He talks about how happy he is and collects some more flowers before ending the episode. And similar to episode 1, this second video didn't really seem that interesting either. But surprisingly, that would all change in the next
10-minute episode, goddamn.
Episode 3.
What is it
Oddly
titled?
enough, the third episode was posted a full 2 months after the previous ones, with the title reflecting that, being called Sorry for the Long Break, I'm Back. Naturally curious about why Malum had taken such a long break, I started watching the video to find out more. Episode 3 began with Malum greeting us, followed by the explanation for his lengthy hiatus. Hey guys, sorry for the long break. I've been dealing with some real life stuff recently and been pretty busy, but anyways, I'm back. Now, weirdly enough, his explanation for why he's been gone was pretty vague. He didn't really give us any information on why he's actually been away, besides for just saying he's been dealing with some things in real life. And unfortunately, with no other information, we really can't know for sure why he's been absent. So I continued on watching the video in hopes of coming across any new details that would help us in solving this mystery. And it really
But maybe he
seemed
just
like
took
we
a
weren't
break.
going to find anything
Maybe like the
else.
2-week Minecraft
He would
phase
spend
just
the next
stopped.
few minutes killing tons of animals for food, but after realizing that he had no fuel to cook the food with, he began
Gotta make a
traveling down a
furnace.
cave in hopes of finding coal. But
you can
this
use
was
wood.
when something straight up weird happened.
You can use wood instead of coal.
See, after going down the cave, Malum would find some iron ore sticking out of the wall. And after mining it, he would continue on deeper down the cave, and eventually he came across some coal to smelt his food with.
It's not a mob
So he
spawner?
began to walk towards it, but
wait.
then, out of nowhere, Malum took a small stumble back. And then, he froze.
But you
He
saw
just
that
stood
too, right?
perfectly still, just staring at the coal ore. And he would remain like this for a solid 5 minutes straight. It was only when a zombie slowly crept over and started to attack him, where he suddenly snapped out of this trance-like state back to reality. And after killing the zombie, he quickly mined the coal and rushed back up to the surface, with the episode
wasn't
ending
there a glitch?
only after he finally cooked his food.
There was like a glitch there, wasn't there? When it like breaks the 2 blocks that's like on here. You can see here like you can see through the world. You can suddenly see through the world behind it. And then once again here when he breaks the other block, you can see through the world one more time. Does that mean that there's something... I mean, the only thing we can see is like, you know, world generation. There's like nothing really hidden behind it. So why did he stop moving?
What could have caused him to do this? I began watching back episode 3, looking for any clues or hints in the video that I might have somehow missed, but there was nothing. Nada. Zilch. And now, feeling more
Zero.
lost than ever, decided that I must continue on with the story. So I clicked on to episode 4, Building My House. Episode 4 started like any other. He begins the video by welcoming us back to the series, then says what his plans are for the episode. Today I'm gonna finally build a base. I'm surprised I made it this far without one. He walks a few blocks before pausing again, saying he needs to get a few more materials first. He begins heading down a hill to collect more sand near the riverbank, and after a few minutes, finally says he thinks he has everything he needs to begin building. So he travels back up the hill in order to craft all the materials that he'll need for his house. And it was around here when something a little odd happened. As Malum was getting all the items ready that he would be needing, he was about to take out some green dye which he had smelting in a furnace. But after opening it, he immediately closed it and began walking away. And
Sorry,
what's even
why?
stranger is
Why?
that after just a few seconds, he would turn back around to grab the green dye.
Maybe
And
someone is
honestly,
taking over his
I really
PC?
don't know why he did this. It honestly could have just been a mistake, and it probably was.
But maybe he has
So I
like a
just kept
sibling
it in
next
the
to him
back
that
of my
like took
mind
the
and
took the
continued
mouse.
on watching. Following this, Malum would go on to craft a few more materials for his base, including a concoction of black, white, and cyan concrete powder, and after heading back to the water to harden it all, would finally begin construction on his house. He began building his house by starting with the cyan walls, an odd choice for a starter base, but it was clear that he had obviously put some thought into the design beforehand, making sure every block was placed perfectly just where he liked it.
This is like a long
Malum's house
corridor.
consisted of bright
That's a
cyan walls,
long
twisting
corridor.
hallways leading to his room, a checkerboard pattern floor, a disorganized storage system, and a single painting hanging just above his white bed.
Wait, this is
And after
weird.
just 10 minutes, he finally placed the last block to his house, the door.
But it's
After
not the right
finishing
color.
construction, Malum would go on to celebrate his new house, talking about how much he loves
love
it and
it
calling
so
it
much.
perfect, before the 4th episode would ultimately end with Malum going to bed inside his new base.
And then someone spawns in front.
And quite frankly, this would mark the last normal episode before things quickly became terrifying. Episode 5, titled Looking for Diamonds, began relatively ordinary. Malum would start the episode as usual by greeting the audience, then would state his plans for the day. Today I'm going to try finding diamonds. I was on Reddit earlier and saw that the best Y level to find diamonds is -58. Malum would then immediately start digging straight into the ground towards Y -58.
Why straight
with
down?
His camera
Why
jittery with what seemed like excitement. After digging down for a few minutes, he would finally reach the correct Y level, typing, "I'm at Y equals -58 now. I'm going to strip mine." Malum would go on to strip mine for a couple of minutes
Digging
looking for
straight down
diamonds,
is
but then
weird.
something strange happened. After a few minutes of digging straight ahead, Malum would go on to abruptly jolt his camera to the left to begin tunneling in a new direction. Which was odd, but hey, maybe it was just his intuition trying to lead him towards diamonds. But then, strangely enough, after just another couple of seconds of mining, Malum would, once again, sharply turn his camera towards a new direction.
But without
This
getting the
time, his camera
resources.
movement's more jittery. Like
Without
he
getting the
was nervous.
resources, yeah.
After yet another few seconds, Malum would ultimately repeat the cycle once more by sharply jolting his camera towards the right. But this time around, he would, oddly enough, begin mining horizontally, almost like he was trying to find something. And after a few seconds of mining, something incredibly bizarre happened. After a few seconds of mining diagonally, Malum would eventually uncover some coal ore hidden within the deep slate. And after noticing it, he stumbled back, just staring at it for a few
There's
seconds.
something
But
in
then,
the code.
after a few seconds of silence, it was like something suddenly snapped within him. He instantly began covering up the coal and then frantically started blocking up the twisted tunnels which he had dug out, trying to cover any trace left behind, like he was trying to hide the evidence as if he was never there. Eventually, he reached the point where he'd initially started and began towering up the hole where he dug down from, anxiously trying to escape from something. And then the episode ended. This was bone-chilling.
But maybe we have another case where Malum has a sibling, and the sibling decided to play on their world, but they're not supposed to be here. The sibling is not supposed to play on this world, and then when they hear Malum basically either waking up or coming home from school or entering the room, they basically hear him physically, and they start covering up their tracks and then go back up to spawn, so when Malum goes on the game, then it's like nothing ever happened.
The episode began relatively normal, but then Malum, out of nowhere, suddenly started sprinting away, covering up his trails. It was as if someone was chasing him, but there was no one there. I now had a million questions racing through my mind. How will Malum act in the next episode? Will we find out what caused him to act like this? Just why was he acting so peculiar? And now, left more puzzled than ever, I hesitantly decided to click onto the 6th episode, desperate for answers. Episode 6, titled Trees and Animals, began differently than usual. Malum opened the episode in his base, but this time there is no greeting, not a single word. After exiting his base, he headed straight
he's
for a
robotic.
forest.
He's almost
After
robotic.
arriving, he began
His
chopping
moves.
down a tree. And then another one. And then another one. For the whole episode, Malum would spend his time cutting down every single tree he saw, combined with killing literally every animal that crossed his path. And oddly enough, as the episode went on, his movements only became more erratic, frantic, as if he was nervous, and he would continue this destructive pattern of cutting down trees and killing animals until his axe broke.
And then would keep
And
breaking,
as he
right?
began heading back to his base, he noticed a small patch of flowers, much like episode 1. But oddly enough, this time he would only pick up the red ones.
But he
After
already has a
arriving
blue
back at
base.
his base, he would enter through the door, but instead of following the corridor leading to his room, which he'd usually do, he instead just mined a hole through the wall straight into his room, avoiding the tunnels entirely. And then the video ended. Why didn't he go through the hallway, opting to break a part of his house instead? And it was here when I realized that Malum didn't say a single word throughout the whole episode, not one message. Which was definitely weird to say the least. Up until this point, Malum has always typed in the game chat, but why not now? Could this all somehow be connected to what happened in the previous episode? In hopes of actually finding an answer this time, I immediately went on to the 7th episode, titled Cave Exploration. And this was the strangest one yet. Episode 7 once again started inside his base. This time, while leaving his base, we can briefly
covered
see
up?
that Malum had oddly
No!
enough blocked
Why
off
is
the
it
original
covered?
pathway leading to his room with cobblestone. This was definitely bizarre, however, I really didn't know what to think about it yet. After exiting his base, he finally types his first message in a while. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm going to get more stuff. Returning to the same forest from the last episode, we can now see that there is not a single tree left standing. He He clearly did more work off camera, but then, out of the corner of his eye, he spotted an exposed cave. He began carefully traversing his way down it. After reaching the bottom, he eventually hit a dead end, but this was where something incredibly disturbing.
There's coal down here.
After reaching the dead end, he immediately, without hesitation, began desperately trying to escape. His movements now more erratic than ever, his camera shaking like an earthquake.
There's something wrong with the coal.
He began placing blocks under himself, trying to tower up, to escape. Once reaching the surface, he hurriedly blocked off the entrance of the cave, shaking with every block. He then began sprinting back to his base as if he was late for something important. And this wasn't even the weirdest part of the episode. After arriving back at his base, he spontaneously began destroying his house, mining everything, block for block. He started with the cyan walls, then the roof, making his way down to the checkerboard floor. He destroyed every single block, ending with the door. It was now pitch black out, and Malum would spend the remainder of the episode just staring at what he had done, and then the video ended. This was the most peculiar episode yet. Every aspect of it was just filled with mystery. 1. Why did Malum block off the tunnel in his house? 2. What caused his outlandish reaction in the cave? And 3. Why did he suddenly destroy his entire base? I feel like with each mystery we're trying to solve, several new ones emerge. So on the edge of my seat, pleading for answers, I continued on to episode 8, titled Reinvention. And this one was just odd. The 8th episode began normally enough. Malum was in a boat, traveling down the river. I'm gonna make a new base, kinda restarting things, new scenery. After reaching the shore, Malum hopped out of the boat and began traversing up the rough terrain. After a couple minutes of traveling, he finally reached a spot he liked. This place seems good. After crafting a few new items, such as a diamond sword, iron hoe, and shears, he began exploring around the new area.
Why a
He
diamond
bred some
sword?
chicken,
A diamond
sheared some
pickaxe
sheep,
is- a
and
diamond
finally
axe is
began
way better.
construction of his new base. And at first, everything seemed normal.
But this is a
maybe
square.
it
This is a
was too
square.
normal.
This is a square.
Malum's new base was built out of wood, had windows and an iron door. He finished off his base by adding a small wheat farm just outside and ended construction by saying how much he liked it. But then he said, I'm gonna go exploring the new area real quick. And he didn't know it yet, but this one decision would quickly become his worst mistake
Because of
yet.
the coal, right?
After heading up the mountains, he took one more good look at his new base and began setting off. Maybe I'll find a village or something cool. However, after looking around for a few minutes, he still didn't find anything. I don't know if there's anything here. Saying that he's probably gonna go back and continue working on his new base. But right as he began heading back, he accidentally stumbled upon something. The place where his old base once sat.
Whoa, but
You
didn't
can
he?
still see the exact spot it stood.
But didn't he
marked
like
by the
sail?
impression in
He
the
like
ground.
sailed away.
And he stood there, frozen, just staring at the past in front of him. And he would stand there, completely still, not moving a muscle for a solid 10 minutes straight. And that was until the episode ultimately ended. And honestly, this was just the saddest episode of them all. It had become painfully clear that Malum wasn't just wandering, he was trying to escape something. And for a brief moment, it seemed like he might actually succeed. After everything, he was finally starting to seem normal again, like the weight had started to lift off his shoulders. But then, by sheer accident, he stumbled across the ruins of his old base, a place he probably didn't even realize was so close. It was like opening a door he thought he'd locked forever. And just like that, all the progress he made began to unravel. And this was when I realized that there was only one more video in the series, episode 9. And weirdly, this one didn't have a title. There was no clues, no hints, nothing to prepare us for what was about to come. So reluctantly, I clicked, my heart racing with anticipation. And to put it lightly, this was horrifying. Episode 9 started instantly. It began with Malum running through a forest as if something was chasing him. The splatters of rain and flashes of thunder illuminating the dark sky. His camera movement was now very erratic and jittery, as if he was shaking in real life. He frantically traversed up a hill, noticing a small patch of flowers before continuing his panicky escape. He ran by trees, taking fall damage every few steps, unsure of which direction to go. It was then where he spotted an exposed cave on the surface.
But the coal-
Without a second
but
thought, he
the
began
coal,
traversing
don't-
his way down,
That's a
losing
bad
tons
idea.
of health in the process. After reaching a dead end at the bottom, he began digging inside the cave walls, tunneling. Every few steps he would block off where he came from, as if he was trying to cover his trail. He went up, he went down, he went left, right. He dug in all directions, just like a maze. It was disorienting. He would continue digging, chipping away at every block, getting deeper and deeper within the walls of the cave until his pickaxe broke. Initially, he froze, but then he started slowly panning around the room, taking in everything that had just occurred. He would go on to type just one more final message before the episode ended, staring deeply into the camera.
He's here.
I am Malum. And this was the last episode Malum ever posted to his channel. No other videos, no bio, not even a profile picture. There was nothing. He seemingly vanished off the internet after this final video. But why? And most importantly, for what reason was he acting just so strange? Is his disappearance somehow connected to all these weird things happening in his world? His erratic movements, the tunnels, the caves, destroying his base, randomly freezing for minutes on end. Is all of this, in one way or another, somehow connected? I felt like this mystery was pulling me deeper and deeper in. I had to find out what happened to Malum following his disappearance. And prepare yourselves, because this story is only just beginning. I decided that to start my investigation, I would begin looking back at all the episodes he posted in hopes of coming across any clues or details I might have missed the first time around.
About me section, is there anything
and
about
for the first few
section?
episodes, I didn't find anything particularly extraordinary. Sure, there were some odd moments like when he suddenly froze mid-game just staring blankly at the screen, but nothing we hadn't already seen before. Nothing useful. Nothing that could actually move us forward. And that was when I realized that if we were going to find a real lead, something that actually mattered, we would have to dig a lot deeper than surface level. And that's when I found something in episode 5. Something that changed everything. You see, at first it didn't seem like there would be anything too useful here, but then I remembered something crucial. While Malum was typing out his message, going over his plans for the episode, he mentioned something very specific. Today I'm going to try finding diamonds. I was on Reddit earlier and saw the best Y level to find diamonds is negative 58.
So you search for the username on Reddit.
This one clue may finally help us in putting an end to this mystery. Did you catch it?
Reddit.
You see, in Malum's message, he briefly mentions that he was on Reddit earlier that day while looking for the best Y level to find diamonds on. Chances are, if Malum was on Reddit, he most likely has a Reddit account. And if he does, it would open up possibilities to find out more about him, and maybe, just maybe, what happened to him after he vanished. But then, I came to a depressing realization. When you Google the phrase best Y level for diamonds, the first result that comes up is a Reddit post. This means that there's a very high chance Malum was simply searching on Google, came across that post, and didn't even need a Reddit account to view it. Which means that this whole thing might have been for nothing. So overflowing with anticipation at this point, I reluctantly closed out of the video and navigated my way towards Reddit, hoping that we would actually discover an account belonging to Malum. So I anxiously typed in his username, Malum6x3, into the search bar and pressed enter. And to my astonishment, I actually found it. We found Malum's Reddit account. So filled with more excitement than ever, I clicked onto his profile. And I didn't know it yet, but this is where things would become downright nightmarish. You see, at first everything seemed completely normal. Towards the beginning of Malum's posting history, he frequently posted on the Minecraft subreddit, talking about the game and his new survival world. I started a new world on a random seed, nothing crazy yet, got a little hill base going on and found the new cherry grove biome next to spawn, which is pretty sick. And he would continue posting about random stuff in the game. Such as joking about how he hasn't played Minecraft in so long that he's forgotten how to play in Post 2, and asking what the best way to find villages is in the 3rd. It wasn't until the 4th post that Malum said something that, at first, I brushed off. What's the best Minecraft server? Hey guys, what are some of your favorite Minecraft servers to play on? I used to play a lot with my friend Cole, but recently he's been busy and hasn't been on in a while. I used to play Hypixel a lot and it was always fun,
so
but are there any
like
others I should try
server?
out? Initially, I didn't think much of this post. Just Malum asking for some cool Minecraft servers to play on.
Maybe he could be on a haunted server.
He also mentions that he has a friend named Cole, but he's been pretty busy and doesn't have time to play anymore. Nothing seemed too off yet. Does anyone want to play any servers with me? Yo guys, I was just wondering if anyone would be down to join me or play any Minecraft servers with me, like Bedwars or something. Friend me on Discord please, it will be fun.
Is his Discord handle here?
This was basically just an ad Malum put out to make some new friends.
But then search for Malum on Discord. It's
clear that Malum is feeling pretty bored and maybe even lonely, especially since his friend Cole hasn't had any time to be on recently. Malum's just looking for anyone that would be willing to play with him. and by this point, everything seemed relatively normal. But things would soon become very dark, very quickly. Why is my best friend ignoring me all of a sudden? Hey everyone, I have a problem. For the past couple of weeks, my friend Cole has been ignoring me. Whenever I text him back, he leaves me on red, he never calls me back, he doesn't even want to hang out anymore. I don't know what I could have done. I don't know why he's mad at me. I haven't been able to talk to him since last week, and even then he just brushed me off and didn't really talk much. I'm trying to figure out if it's something maybe I did or what. I'm pretty disappointed about it. He's been my best friend since like 3rd grade, lol. Anyways, can anyone please help me? Thanks. Now this post was actually pretty sad. Malum says that his best friend Cole has been ignoring him for weeks, and he has no idea why. He wonders if he might have done something wrong to upset him, but nothing comes to mind. We can tell this isn't usual behavior from Cole just by the way Malum is describing it. So it really makes us wonder, why is Cole acting like this? Obviously intrigued with this drama, I continued on to the next post for answers, but somehow it got even more confusing. Update from my last post. Thanks to everyone who replied to my last post. Soon after posting it, I was finally able to get into contact with my friend Cole. I tried to ask him if he was mad at me for any reason, and if that's why he hasn't been answering me, but all he told me was no, and that he's just been really busy with stuff in his life. I asked what exactly was taking up all of his time, but he kinda just dismissed my question. We still aren't talking as much as we used to, so I don't know if he's just lying to me or he's annoyed or what's going on. But he probably is just tired since he texted me back late at night. Now, this post was even more puzzling. Malum said that he was finally able to get into contact with Cole, but he was still acting very off. Responding very shortly, not answering any questions. Why was Cole acting just so odd? It's clear that he's obviously trying to hide something from Malum, but what? Now, Malum did mention that Cole replied late at night, so he could have just been tired. However, I just don't think that's the case anymore. So hoping for some kind of explanation.
But maybe Cole just don't want to be friends with him anymore?
However, things only grew more perplexing. Do you guys think I'm just overreacting? Recently, my friend, Cole, hasn't been answering any texts or calls at all. I've been trying to reach out to him to ask him if he's mad at me or anything, and he just replies very shortly and curtly. This has been going on for at least a month at this point. I can tell something is wrong, and I don't know if it's maybe something I done or what. Am I just overreacting? If anyone has any thoughts on this, please let me know. Thank you. Malum then provided this screenshot of their text conversation.
But maybe he's
Yo,
just
Cole, what's
tired.
up, bro?
Maybe
you haven't texted me back in a while. Everything good? Yo, Cole, you there?
But maybe Cole just doesn't want to be
spamming me, please.
Yeah, maybe just doesn't want to be friends with him anymore.
Okay,
maybe
sorry.
maybe that's just the case. Maybe they just lost contact, or like they
This
fell
post
off,
was
or they fell apart.
unnerving. After a few months of not being able to contact his best friend, Malum finally got in touch with Cole, only to get a very short, almost passive-aggressive reply. Malum says he can tell something is wrong, but he just doesn't know what. So left with more questions than ever, I had to continue on to get to the bottom of this, but oddly enough, Malum actually took a 2-month break from Reddit before making its next post, the same exact amount of time as his break between episodes 2 and 3. And who knows, maybe it's just a coincidence, but something about it just doesn't sit right with me. Am I in the wrong for being furious? I don't even know how to explain it. I was just mad that Cole wasn't answering my text, but now I just feel, I don't know, off. Everything feels off. I'm still mad, but it's like, it doesn't even matter now. But it does matter. He wouldn't just ignore me like that, right? I just feel so angry and helpless, and I don't even know how to put it anymore. Am I wrong for being mad at him? Sorry. Now, this was incredibly odd. It's more obvious than ever now that Malum is becoming increasingly more affected by the fact that Cole isn't answering him. But why? Why is Malum just so angry? And why is he apologizing, saying he feels helpless?
He's going through the
I
stages
feel like
of
there's
grief.
more to the
That's
story that we
problem.
aren't seeing at the surface. Just why is Malum acting so peculiar? I decided just to continue right on to the next post before doing anything else to see where this was headed. Maybe I missed something. I don't even know what I'm doing writing this. It's not like it changes anything. I just keep thinking if I say the right thing or type it the right way, maybe it'll feel different. Maybe it will make sense. People keep saying stuff that doesn't help. Like they're trying to explain something they don't even understand, and I keep going over everything. Like maybe I missed something. He should have texted or called. I don't even know how to do that. I don't even know how to feel right now. Maybe he just needed to get away for a while. Maybe he's just somewhere without service. At this point, it seems like Malum is just overreacting now, considering the fact that this whole reaction is simply just because his friend Cole hasn't texted him back. Who knows, maybe Cole has truly just been busy for the past few weeks and Malum is just being
Or maybe he found a new friend group.
And this seems to be even more evident when you take a
almost
look
like
at his next post.
That's what it sounds like.
Where Malum is still
Cole
ranting about how furious and saddened he is by the fact that Cole hasn't talked to him. He's still acting over the top and even going as far as asking others if it's normal for him to be reacting this way. But that now leads us into an even bigger question. We still don't know exactly why Cole's not answering his phone, but just why is Malum reacting so intensely over it? I feel like each post we read just drags
There is
further
definitely
and further into
some
the
context
mystery,
we don't have.
So I desperately clicked on to the next one. I needed answers. I'm going insane. I tried calling Cole 34 times yesterday. He didn't answer once. I don't know why I keep expecting a different outcome. It can't change. I call him, I text him, nothing. I don't even know why I do this anymore. I really don't. It seems like
I feel like the situation we're in here is most likely that Cole found a new friend group or Cole got a new set of friends, because we're talking, I don't know, I don't remember what grade they're in, but we're talking about people in grade school, high school. I really don't know at this point. When you're in school, you're always being thrown between different friend groups and different connections. One moment, Cole might be friends with Malum, then he might get into another friend group, then he's gonna like play Minecraft in like the 2-week period, then he doesn't play Minecraft anymore. So I believe that it might be a case because I have been in a similar situation before. I was insecure, I was uncertain, I was just not in a good place mentally, and that made me lose some very good friends. Many years ago, I went through breakup and then I was very insecure, and the kind of friend group I was in, we were all making jokes at each other, we were roasting each other, and I couldn't take the roast at that point because I was insecure about myself. And I went back and forth, you know, I started like cussing at them, I started basically blocking them, unblocking them. Every time I tried to like get back into the friend group, they just kept on roasting me. So in the end, when I tried to go back and forth all the time, they just didn't want to deal with me anymore. Instead of like allowing me to take time and recover, allowing me to basically get my securities back again, they decided to basically leave me. Even though this may not be the case, I definitely relate to someone losing their friend because of circumstances that is either out of our control or that we don't really have control over. That's the same shit. But it's definitely either Cole is in another friend group or there is a falling out that is happening behind the scenes that we don't know about.
Cole not answering Malum's calls has completely ruined his life. Malum has been trying for months to get into contact with him now, and he fails each time. Malum even went as far as calling Cole a total of 34 times in a single day, but Cole didn't answer, not once. On one side of the story, Cole not answering a single call, let alone a message for multiple months, is pretty absurd, but Malum's reaction to it is even crazier. And come on, it's not like Cole's dead or anything. He's just not answering his phone. Malum is completely overreacting. I can't keep it all in anymore. He's gone. He's gone. He did it. His cousin posted on his account. Cole killed himself. I don't even know how to process this anymore. I kept waiting for him to come back, like maybe he'd see my missed calls or texts and finally answer. And now, he never will. This is eating me alive. I should have done more or said more or been more. I don't know. I feel horrible. I just kept thinking about myself. How he didn't answer me. How he wasn't calling me back. I never thought about how he was feeling. Not once. If only I knew, I could have prevented it. I just wish I wasn't so selfish. This is all my fault. Cole is dead. I just couldn't believe it. This whole time, Malum's best friend has been dead. Cole killed himself. That must explain why Cole wasn't answering his phone at all. This whole time, unbeknownst to us or Malum, Cole was dealing with something much darker than we ever thought. Himself. And what's equally as sad is that Malum blames himself for all of this. I began looking back at all of his Reddit posts, trying to take it all in. And that's when I realized something even more depressing.
That's not his fault.
From post number 9 and onwards, Malum knew that Cole was dead. He was just in denial. That explains everything.
So it is the stages of grief.
Anymore. Thinking that Cole must just be someone with no service. Why Malum said he's going insane. Malum has been grieving, and we just didn't know. I went on to look at his posts for maybe any updates. Hopefully he's been healing from this, but what I saw was just depressing. Posts saying that Cole just cannot be dead and that Malum doesn't believe it. Begging Cole to come back, saying that he can't stop thinking about him. Malum even posted about how he hasn't been able to sleep for the past 5 days. He just stays up at night, thinking, taking it all in. And that's when I stumbled upon truly one of the most heartbreaking things I've ever read.
Oh no, he's not gonna.
I killed my friend. I think it's my fault. Maybe I made Cole angry. Do you think I made him kill himself? Sorry, Cole. Come back. Please. Malum is still blaming himself after all this time. It's sad to see how much Malum is suffering from this, saying that maybe he made Cole angry and that's why he did what he did. I continued on to his next couple of posts. Maybe he's finally accepting it, but what I read was just tragic.
Just depression
No
again,
sleep
right?
in 8 days. I've not been able to sleep for 8 days. I'm awake all night, cannot do stuff anymore. My friend Cole, who is alive, is my best friend and invited me to his house. We're going to watch a movie. It will be fun. This was just
They're
devastating.
delusional. 100%
Malum's been
delusional.
so crushed by the death of his best friend, so caught up in everything that he hasn't been able to go to sleep for the past 8 days. Not even for just one night. It was horrible. It's painfully clear just how much the lack of sleep is unraveling his life.
But why are
His
they
posts
freaking
have
out about
grown
the
increasingly
cold then?
erratic, barely legible, flooded with spelling errors and broken grammar. And that's when I realized that he only made one more post to Reddit before completely vanishing, gone from the internet without a single trace. Cole is alive.
67.
Malum is still deep in denial, with no escape. It seems with this grief, combined with the lack of sleep, has made him, quite frankly, go insane. It's truly heartbreaking to see how much anguish the situation has caused him. And then he disappeared. And now, for the first time ever, I finally understood why Malum suddenly vanished out of nowhere. He was grieving. And as I was looking back at his old episodes he posted to his channel, I came to a gut-wrenching realization. Remember how Malum would be playing in his Minecraft world, completely normal, but then, out of nowhere, would suddenly snap and just start sprinting in the opposite direction and act very strange? Well, I began looking back at each video one by one, hoping to maybe find some answers, a reason for this, and that's when it hit me. You see, in the first 2 episodes...
Oh, Cole! Okay, that's stupid. That's stupid. Can we be honest? His friend's name is Cole, and every time he sees Cole, that's where he's like, oh my god, my friend, I'm missing my friend, oh my god, where's Cole? That's a reach. Am I being like cold-hearted? That is such a reach.
Nothing strange happened. He started his world, collected wood, mined for coal, iron, killed some animals. Everything was completely ordinary. But then, in episode 3, that's when everything started going downhill. And weirdly enough, episode 3
So
was
every time he
uploaded
sees
after
Cole,
Malum's
he
long
basically
break from
starts
the internet.
crying.
April 7th, 2025. The same week Cole died. And episode 3 just so happened to be when Malum started acting different. It was around 3 minutes into the video. He was down in a cave looking for iron. Nothing unusual. He mines what he needs and begins heading back up to the surface.
And when he
But
sees
then
Cole...
he notices something out of the corner of his eye. Coal ore. He stops. He doesn't move,
And
doesn't
then he
speak,
starts
just
crying.
stares at it for 5 whole minutes, like something short-circuited in his brain, like he wasn't even in the game anymore. Could it be that somehow, some way that this Cole reminded him of his friend Cole? It sounds insane, but I had to be sure. So I kept watching, episode after episode, and there it was, every single time. In episode 4, when he's smelting dye for his house, he opens the furnace, sees the coal, and instantly clicks out of it, acting as if nothing had happened. Or later, when he's mining for diamonds, he accidentally uncovers a patch of coal, and he runs full sprint, like he just saw something he wasn't supposed to. He even blocks the tunnel behind him like he's trying to trap something in or keep it from following him. Every time Cole appeared, he didn't just act like he was scared by it, he acted like he was being hunted by it. This one moment explains everything. Malum wasn't just going crazy for no reason. He was drowning in grief. Every time he saw Cole Orr, it must have reminded him
this
of
dark
his
comedy?
best friend, Cole.
This has to
Not
be
just
dark
the name,
comedy.
but everything they used to do together. It dragged those memories back up to the surface. Memories he clearly wasn't ready to face. That's why he always ran. He was using Minecraft
This
as an
has to
escape,
be a joke.
But even there, he just couldn't find peace.
This has
It
to
was
be dark
heartbreaking.
comedy.
He was just haunted by grief. He was trapped in it. That's why Malum vanished from the internet, only leaving behind one final video. It was a cry for help, a last-ditch effort. We may never know what truly happened to Malum following his disappearance, but wherever he is now, I just hope that he finally found peace.
And okay, hold on. You have 2 friends where one of them tragically passes away. Super sucks. If in the chat, it's really horrible. But you use Minecraft as like the theme for this. Like the only purpose for the Minecraft gameplay is so we can associate Cole or with his friend Cole. This doesn't explain the random jolts when mining. This doesn't explain why he basically covered up his hallway. This doesn't explain why he's staring at his broken down house. The story about him going on Reddit, venting about his feelings, his emotions, going through the stages of grief, that is relatable, that is understandable. But that story in itself doesn't really get traction, it doesn't really get views, it doesn't really get clicks. How do we make a sad story about a teenager losing their friend popular? Minecraft! Ding 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 ding! We just attach Minecraft to it and boom! 3 million views. DryFruits is doing a great job telling a story, using Minecraft as like a vehicle to tell stories in these videos. But sometimes I feel like the story doesn't happen inside of Minecraft. Minecraft is just attached onto it in order to make the story appeal to a larger audience. Because the half of this video here taking place on Reddit, where Malum starts spiraling out of control, is way more interesting than the entire setup. Going through all the videos, seeing the base being built, the base being taken down, how Malum freaks out, is not really that interesting until we reach the final conclusion of the video. So in my case, the most interesting part is going through the Reddit thread, seeing Malum spiral out of control as they lost their best friend. Basically going through the different stages of grief. And the only reason why I am this harsh is because I feel like there is potential. I can see there is potential here. But some of the stories need a little bit of tweaking in order for the viewers also to get that aha moment instead of it just being like delivered on a silver platter for us. That's my honest feedback. Again, I feel like the stories are great if they just get a little bit more tweaking. Like, show us a little bit more so we can be a part of that eureka moment. But for now, guys, check out DryFruits. They do make some good videos. I believe they have a lot of potential. It's just a matter of tweaking the scripts and the videos a little bit more. Subscribe to their channel, watch their videos. If you guys want me to watch some more videos of this in the future, or when they upload a video in the future, do let me know in the comments below. But for now, check out DryFruits, subscribe to their channel, show them some love and support. They deserve it, okay? Because like I said, they have potential. If you guys like this, drop a like, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And with that said, I will